Nick, you did a lot of rotating of the quarterbacks today. What was the thought process behind the playing time and who you put in when?
Yeah, we wanted to get both of them reps and get both of them reps with the twos and also with the threes. So that was the thought process of why we rotated them within series. Again, wanted them to both be able to play behind the two offense line with the number two pass catchers and also with the number three.
What the decision to not play Tanner, knowing you've typically played your backup?
Yeah, got a lot of good work in that joint. Sometimes we only get one joint practice. This week, we were able to get two joint practices in there. It was really good work all week, and we felt like in that situation we saw a good chunk of Tanner there, and that was his work for this week.
How would you assess the play of both Dorian, and Kyle McCord? I mean,
Yeah, again, what I felt like it was just not great complementary football today. When you have the heat like that, you want to be able to, defense had some long drives, offense had some 3 and outs, and you want to be able to play complementary football in that area. And so, I have to watch the tape. Obviously, they had some good moments and had some plays that they made, but also we missed some plays. But that's not always just on the quarterback if there was a misplay. But I'll have to go watch the tape. It wasn't good enough out there on the field today, at any coaching, playing, anything.
defensively, when you have a player like Drew making plays, how much does that give him confidence? How much does that mean?
Yeah. I've always thought that he has a knack for the football. How he practices. Watching his tape. Whether it was at Clemson or at Texas, and has the ability to take the ball away. He's a playmaker. So anytime you go out there and make a play, that's big. All right, and so that was exciting. The interception, and even one he was there for the fumble recovery after they had a missed exchange. Well, guys that have a knack for the football just find ways to be around the football, and I think that's what we saw today.
How difficult are some of these decisions going to be at safety? That job is open with Andrew and Sidney, and then cornerback and a couple of other jobs.
Yeah, again, I feel like we have good depth to, I know you guys are waiting for us to be like, here's the guy who's starting. I think it's also a good thing that we have a bunch of guys that we feel good about that are still battling all the way till the end, and so that's what we're excited about. And it's always tough decisions, right? Whether it's cutting a guy or whether it's deciding who's starting, and that's why I have training camp, and that's why we have preseason games though to help us out with that.
You're making those decisions. Do turnovers like that carry a higher weight in your evaluation versus other things?
The creating turnovers. Everything. Everything's. Whether it's taking the football away, whether it's tackling, whether it's block destruction, whether it's just getting everybody on the same page. Of course, yeah, all those things play into it. And how much we stress the ball and taking care of the football and taking the football away. So that always goes into it. I think you look at the first half. We don't. We obviously didn't play a good game in whole. We really didn't play a good first half either. And we're winning 13-12 because of 2 turnovers, right? 2 turnovers to none. And so the ball is always at the forefront of our mind, but that doesn't mean you don't account for everything in it as well.
Tanias, there wasn't a ton offensively, but he was able to get separation on a couple occasions in the touchdown. How much different is he this year? He's dealing with that shin.
Yeah, I think you've seen his explosiveness that we saw at Texas A&M. His ability to get out of breaks, and I felt like I started to see that as well last year as he started to recover. And so he's got an ability to separate. He's got ability to make plays. And he made a couple nice plays. That he had a 3rd down conversion early in the game, and then he had the 3rd and 9 at the 9 where he separated and had the touchdown catch. He has the ability to separate because he has good body quicks.
During the summer.
Until after, we talked to you before the second practice, not the second, not after. It looked like the offense struggled. You're obviously without BJ and a couple offensive linemen. What's your
what's your level of, if there is concern or assessment of how that?
You know, that's practice sometimes. You know, what I felt like is just it's hard to, even though you're not scoring points in practice, I guess to say it's hard to score points when you move backwards, and I just felt like we had a couple too many that we moved backwards on. You know, and that's for different reasons, right? Whether that's a pre-snap penalty, whether that's a negative run, whether that's a sack, all those things stalled drives out, and that's what I felt like with that second day of practice more so than anything.
During the summer, was this the plan for Tanner, or did the way he played last week kind of sway you?
Yeah, again, what we felt like I said earlier, what we felt was like, hey, he got a lot of good reps in that week in the joint practices, and everything's case by case, everything's scenario by scenario, and that's why we went with the way we did today.
Last one.
How about Ojulari?
I'll get you.
He was active in this game. What have you seen from him as the summer has gone on?
Yeah, I think you saw his ability to be around the football, rush the passer, you know, make some plays in the run game. Yeah, we like the things that he can do. He's been productive in this league, you know, and we've got to see him 2 or 3 times each year when we have to prepare for him. So I think he's coming on and had a good game today.
His interception came after he got beat on a play downfield. His interception in joint practice came after he got beat on a play. How much, when you're evaluating a rookie, does like having that short memory go into?
Yeah, it's good. That's a good observation. You know, we want that for all of our guys to be able to play the next play, to be able to go out there after an interception and play again, or after a big play, right? That's part of mental toughness of, you know, being able to be in the moment and fix the mistakes later, right? And we always talk about that, having the same attitude, effort, and energy regardless of the circumstances. That doesn't mean you don't go back and fix it afterwards and talk about the things that need to be better, but you have to be able in this game, in this league, to be able to, and this is coaching, this is playing, right, to be able to have a short memory, right, and move on so you can have your full focus, so you can coach and play with great detail and you can play with great effort.
All right, thanks,
Thank you,
folks.
guys.